They told me the woods past Miller's Hollow were cursed, but I never believed it, not really, until the night I went in and never truly came back. It was supposed to be a dare, nothing more. A stupid teenage test of bravery, tossed out during a late-night bonfire with friends who thought stories were just stories, and bones buried under moss were just old legends. Stay there until sunrise, they said, and we'll never call you a coward again. I laughed with them, shrugged, and crossed the crumbling wooden bridge into the forest, pretending my heart wasn't already trying to claw its way out of my chest. The first few minutes were uneventful, almost peaceful. The air was thick with the smell of pine and decay, and my flashlight beam bounced off the dew-slicked leaves like stars trapped in fog. But then the silence shifted. It was subtle at first, like the forest had inhaled and forgotten how to exhale. The chirping of insects stopped, the breeze died, and even my footsteps felt muffled by something unseen. I kept walking deeper, telling myself it was in my head, that the stories about people vanishing out here were just urban myths told to scare kids into staying out of the woods after dark. But then I saw the first symbol. It was carved into the side of a tree, deep, jagged, almost desperate, a spiral with claw-like slashes through it, fresh enough that sap still bled from the bark. I didn't know what it meant, but I knew it wasn't right. More appeared as I walked, scratched into trees, etched into rocks, even burned into the ground in places where the grass had curled and died. And then I began to hear the voices, not loud, not clear, just whispers, drifting between the trees like smoke. I spun in circles with my flashlight, expecting to see someone, anything, but the beam only caught branches that looked too much like hands and shadows that didn't belong to anything visible. That's when I found the tent. It looked abandoned, half collapsed, torn down the middle like something had tried to claw its way in or out. Inside were sleeping bags soaked with something dark, a broken camera, and a journal whose pages were stuck together with what I prayed was mud. I took it, hoping for an explanation, but the words inside were nearly illegible. Rushed, manic, written in a trembling hand. It watches from the trees. We shouldn't have come. The spiral opens doors. I dropped the journal and backed away, and that's when I saw the figure. It stood just beyond the tree line, tall and still, its head tilted slightly like it was curious. I couldn't make out any features, just the silhouette. Long limbs, too long, like it had been stretched beyond human limits. I froze, breath caught in my throat, and then the figure stepped forward. I ran. I didn't look back. Branches tore at my face, thorns sliced open my arms, but I didn't stop, not when I heard it behind me, not when the whispers grew louder, screaming things I couldn't understand in a voice that sounded like my own, not when the forest began to twist and loop and repeat, like I was running in circles even though I was sure I hadn't turned. Time lost meaning. My phone was dead. My flashlight flickered and died. The moon, which had been full and bright when I entered, disappeared behind clouds that hadn't been there a moment before. I remember falling, hitting my head, the world tilting sideways, and then I woke up at the edge of the bridge, soaked in mud and blood, the sun rising weakly through the trees, casting everything in sickly orange light. My friends were gone. No one came back for me. I made it home somehow, but nothing's been right since. I see the spiral in my dreams now, etched into skin, into ceilings, into my own pupils when I stare too long into the mirror. I hear the whispers when I try to sleep, calling me back, promising I'll understand if I just go deeper. Sometimes I wake up with dirt on my feet, with branches tangled in my hair, even though I lock every door before bed. The forest didn't let me go. It marked me. It watches. It waits. and I think one night soon I won't come back at all.